Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CM Trading. Today, September 19, 2019, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, out of United Kingdom at 1 p.m. South African time, we have an official bank rate number coming out. It's like the FOMC for the British pound. We're going to take a look at the British pound in just a second. And then later today at 2:30 South African time, out of the United States, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index number coming out. Now, this is a inflationary number that's coming out, and it is an important number. We'll take a look at that as well. Just looking at the markets, though, the dollar gains after the FOMC rate decision yesterday with a quarter of a point being deducted as an interest rate. The Fed looking to stave off some of the inflationary issues. We'll take a look at that in just a moment and see how that will affect the market. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, as a response to it, we had a great faith and news opportunity yesterday. We'll take a look at that and how you could apply that strategy for your next time where there's going to be an opportunity to trade the news. Now, looking at the commodities, gold just hovering around 1,500, not much of a change there. Also, it looked like it was setting itself up right before the number and then, for that trade opportunity. Now, oil breaks support and corrects itself after that news last week. Okay, if you look week to week, we're not much of a change. And lastly, looking at the stocks, the bank stocks in the United States really rallied after this FOMC. They're the ones to gain the most out of this interest rate change. And we'll take a look at that as well. So let's see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're jumping into the EURUSD here on a 4-hour chart. You can see we pretty much hit this resistance earlier this week, tried it several times and failed it, okay? We were trading right at that resistance yesterday, and I mentioned this, that we most of the time, okay, when we're going into a big number, we get to a certain major threshold and we still honor that threshold, okay? Some of the times we do not, but many of the times that we do. And this was a case in point of that, okay? The euro kind of rallied versus the dollar to 10.74 and then broke itself down, okay? But it's not trading in a massive range, to tell you the truth. So with that said, just, it's not, this wasn't a home run, but it was an opportunity to make, 30 to 40 pips in intraday trading. Now, looking at the GBP. Now, the GBP has gotten stronger versus the US dollar falling into this number, and we've pretty much hit a resistance at 124.90-ish level, which is right here. Okay, so with that said, if it does break above it, then I do expect it to have a breakout. It does look like it's still honoring that upwards momentum. Okay, as you can see, we're making a wedge formation here, and this may still have a breakout. Okay, may not, but it may. So you want to be on top of this, especially as this number is coming out. Now, looking at the commodities, this was a great trade setup. They rallied, if you call it rallied, the gold just to 1510, and then it just, after the number came out, traded to 1483 and then corrected itself and now trading at 1496, which is just shy of 1500. So not much of a change here for the price of gold. Now, looking at oil, now remember earlier last week we had this attack presumably from Iran onto Saudi Arabian, the refineries, the oil refineries, and the price of oil shot up. We had a big gap up as we're looking at it right now. We're finally breaking that support, okay, which was previous resistance, and we're trading at that top of that range. So this may be an indication this may still close up the gap. Okay, we're trading below the $60 mark, below the support level. So this is making a correctional move. Now this may correct itself furthermore, just have to see that actually fruit. Okay, so with that said, this may still be a trading opportunity. If we do break this area, we're trading right there, okay, with a second minor support right here at 58.28. So take a look at that today. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, this is what I'm talking about. Yesterday's opportunity. Okay, now the news came out, a great opportunity. You missed the first move because that's too quick. Not your fault. That's just the name of the game. And then there's that correctional move. Okay, now that correctional move that came on the opposite side even took us even higher. So we traded as low as 26.914 and then rallied about 200 points to 27,163, and now we're pretty much unchanged. Okay, so this is what I talk about fade the news, is that you don't trade the first initial move, you trade the reactionary move, and this was that case in point. And I mentioned this yesterday as a great opportunity to do that. And with that said, you could have made 200 points on, let's say, one lot. That would have been about $1,000 in less than an hour, okay, of work. So really a great opportunity here of how you could have made some easy money. Now, looking at the bank stocks, which are the ones that carried us higher. They rallied yesterday and they closed close to its all-time highs. JP Morgan back to almost its all-time high at 120. Now, if it does continue this momentum, we may see new highs continue on the upside. And if that happens, the markets will carry us higher. Okay, but like I mentioned earlier, it seems like there's a rotation because if we look at Alcoa, it kind of came away yesterday. Okay, not really bouncing here as opposed to the sector of the banks, which it did bounce. Okay, now looking at Microsoft, that's the last one I want to look at. This one really broke out to 138. Now it does have that resistance at 138.52, so I'd like to actually challenge this morning, and perhaps we can make correctional moves on the upside. Now, business is good in the United States. However, politically, internationally, things are not so good. So the question is, how much weight is going to be given to news and how much weight is going to be taken into the economic factors? We're going to have to see how that actually unfolds itself going into this session. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.